Thank you, Delegate Robinson. Thank you, Deputy Secretary. Appreciate your being here. I'd like to begin by thanking you and Secretary Ron and the Governor for the Purple Line. This is a big deal. Obviously, it's a big deal for our county, it's a big deal for the state, and we need to thank you at every opportunity for making that happen. It would not have happened without you.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with MTA. Obviously, the hardest work is now before us. This is hard work. It is very disruptive to communities. It is going to be a nightmare for many communities. And so to have transparency with respect to this, to have open communication, to make sure that people are doing right by our communities as we do this important work is going to be very important. I look forward to having your help with respect to that. While I'm in the thank you mode, let me thank the governor with respect to Metro. His willingness to put $125 million a year in for 4 years is so terribly important. My hope is that our region accepts this as an interim step forward, as a bridge to a permanent deal. You must realize, the governor must realize, we do need to get to a place where we have long-term dedicated funding. I get that that's not going to happen in the short term, but we absolutely have to get there. My hope is that the governor will reach out to the next governor of Virginia and make sure that we are in a position to move this forward, because we have to at least have an interim deal while we work out the kinks with respect to a permanent 10-year deal that allows for dedicated funding, because that has to happen. You made reference to, and I promise you our community certainly had a lot of raised eyebrows when the governor mentioned a $9 billion public-private partnership for 270, 495. It's not real clear what it does on the American Legion Bridge, but needless to say, you have our attention. Congestion is the #1 issue in our community, and oh my goodness, we have to do things about it. We obviously have a lot of questions about it. Secretary Ron has been gracious enough to agree to come to the committee that I chair 2 weeks' time to answer those questions, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on it now. Know that we want to be your partner in this exercise. We had our own thoughts as to how we could do this in a way that was cost effective. You seem to have a different notion about it, so we want to talk about it, and we'd like to make sure that Montgomery County is your partner in addressing this terribly important issue. If you do decide, as it seems clear you are, that private investment and a P3 of this nature and using tolls is the way to go about this work, it should free up some public funds that you had otherwise set aside for 495 and 270 in your financially constrained long-range plan. We have a number of ideas for you as to where you can spend those dollars. We will start with the Corridor Cities Transitway, because part of the concern of the community is, oh my goodness, we're doing all this on roads, but can't we do even a little more with respect to what has been one of our top priorities, which is the Corridor Cities Transitway. So if you go forward with a P3, if you go forward with tolls, that should free up some serious dollars that you could make more progress with respect to the Corridor Cities Transitway. And we urge you to consider that. Obviously, bus rapid transit is a big deal in our county. We need to do more with respect to it. 355 in particular could use some more of your dollars as well, because we will get to probably preliminary design on the dollars we have, but we won't get through the design phase without more help from you. And it is our #1 bus rapid transit route with the highest ridership and can be transformative. And of course is part of what our county has put forward and with respect to this little Amazon deal is to make sure that we show that our county is in fact providing every transit possible for people like that should they come to our county. And I also want to share with you my appreciation for your own personal commitment, which I heard in a very sincere way with respect to pedestrian safety. As you alluded to, we will give you copies of the County Executive's Vision Zero. It is a big deal that Mr. Reamer and I spearheaded in our council to make sure that our county did embrace Vision Zero. We have 41 action steps, one of which, of course, as you made reference to, we have some of our bus stops that stop in the middle of a street without being next to a sidewalk. Well, that just invites a problem. So we are serious about this work. We are grateful with respect to the Hawk signal. As some of you may recall, I pushed real hard with respect to that. It does make a difference. These pedestrian-activated signals really do save lives. So appreciate your flexibility in making sure that happened. I urge you to do it even more aggressively in lots of different places. And finally, let me say that with respect to the smart signals, that's something that I also am proud that we in Montgomery County have advanced that as well, and appreciated your own doubling down on that effort, because, oh my goodness, if just through smart signals we can reduce travel times by 10 to 15%, just using our existing infrastructure in a more efficient way, because we don't have lots of places where we can add new capacity. So it makes it so much more important to use what we have more efficiently. And so I totally support your effort there. Obviously, it builds on what we're doing here in Montgomery County, and we'd like more of it here in Montgomery County, because our state roads, oh my goodness, they are the chief bottlenecks in our county. So your investment in those roads will make a great deal of difference. Bottom line, we seek to be your partner in this effort across the board. Too important for it to be anything else. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.